Scene or muse of the renowned heroes, steadfast Gleos, far-seeing Alexios, and the divine boy. They readied the vessels and drew tight the ropes. Then Gleos's blackened boat was dragged down to the water, groaning as though it remembered the sea, and the wine-dark waves received them. In two vessels they sped through wind and current, where heavens meet the sea. Like a swift-winged bird flew the vessel of Alexios, his hand firm upon the oar, as though holding the thread of fate. Behind him came the second vessel, all dark and scarred by storms. Within it sailed steadfast Gleos and the divine boy. Gleos, stern as winter cliffs, the boy, his heaven burning brightly in his eyes. Around them stretched the beauty, even the deathless gods my envy, while the waves rose like lions and whispered tales of forgotten ages. For a moment the heroes stood upon the shore, but the journey called them onward. The divine boy waited, for the restless waters strained against his will, and even he could barely hold their fury. Steadfast Gleos held the boat against the waves. Then, as it drifted away, he sprang from the shore and landed aboard in a single bound. The boat rocked, but held. They seized the oars, and the roaring sea received them again. Then suddenly the sea boiled beneath them. Charybdis rose from the deep, fierce and ravenous, opening her jaws before the heroes. Steadfast Gleos fought against the oar, while the divine boy raised his voice to the heaven. The waters trembled, and the whirlpool wakened. They entered waters like the rivers of Hades. The air grew heavy with decay, and the sea turned dark, oily, and poisonous, and though the Styx itself had spread across the earth. Birds fled those cursed reaches, and even the sea seemed to groan beneath the corruption. Yet steadfast Gleos did not tremble, but tightened his hand upon the helm. Beside him, the divine boy closed his eyes and murmured words older than mortal memory. As though guided by an unseen god, their vessel glided through the black waters of Hades. Thus they passed through the darkness, trusting their path was written in the stars. O muse, tell what waits beyond the next bend of the sea, where peril and glory are woven together by fate. Their path led through a gorge, dark, narrow, and wild, where high upon the cliff stood a mighty Titan. The heroes passed beneath his silent gaze, yet no wrath stirred between them. So in peace they parted, and the voyage carried on. close and twisted forest, its branches like bones, its thorns like weighted spears. Far-seeing Alexios raised his shield, and sunlight struck the leaves, forcing the trees to recoil as shadows flee before dawn. Before them lay a sea turned into a tomb. Broken sheep rotted in black water, their masts rising like the bones of giants. Then far-seeing Alexios understood. These were those who had dared this path before them, yet they had lacked Gleos' strength, Alexios' wisdom, and the blessing of the divine boy. The heroes did not falter. Gleos held the course, Alexios watched ahead, and the divine boy whispered, "Let the dead remain with the dead, and let no shade bar the living." Then the graveyard fell behind them. Ahead, the wide dark sea vanished beyond the shore. None could know what lands, beasts, or trials awaited them. So tell us, O Muse, what awaits Gleos, Alexios, and the divine boy beyond the next horizon.